You are the moon in my sky. You are my best friend, and I love you more than I could ever put into words. I wouldn't care even if you were marrying me for money if it meant you would marry me. So will you? Will you be my wife?" "I have to go to the bathroom," I'd said, and shot out of my seat and to the back of the restaurant. That's when I'd called Anika. It wasn't that I didn't want to marry him or say yes. I'd just panicked. I had no reason to panic, other than wondering what the Skeenbauer coven was going to say about all of this. But for some reason, I had to get up and move. I later realized it was more excitement than it was nerves. It was a good thing he hadn't asked me to marry him outside, or I might have run off into the wilderness. "Better?" Remy asked when I returned to the table and sat down. He was smiling, and I was glad I hadn't upset him or made him worry. In fact, he looked completely at peace. I had to wonder if Anika had already texted him, but that could wait until later. "Yes," I said. "So, about what I asked you, that's what I mean, Remy. Yes. Wait." He got up and got back down on his knee with the ring. "Okay, now go." "Yes, I'll marry you 1,000 times over," I said, and he slipped the ring onto my finger. It was a huge pink princess-cut diamond, the kind of ring little girls dream of getting from their Prince Charming someday. And there I was, getting one from mine. I lived in a magic house with a talking cat, and everything seemed so perfect. The restaurant erupted in applause. Remy stood up and pulled me into his embrace. My heart beat harder as his arms wrapped around me. No matter how many times he held me, it always felt like home. He was home. "So, did Anika tell you I was going to say yes before I did?" "Nope. She just said you were coming back and that I shouldn't worry," Remy said, and kissed me. "That's the same as telling you. Do you want to work together and turn her into a goat?" "Now you sound like Mary," I said, and kissed him again. "We should get back to Coventry," he said. "Anika is no doubt telling everyone, and I'm going to need to have a talk with my grandmother." "Imelda isn't going to take it well," I said. "She'll be fine," he said, and took my hand. "Remember, the spell they cast is still in place. The effects work on everyone in Coventry, including the casters." The spell he was talking about was one not unlike Marie Laveau had cast on New Orleans. It was intended to bring peace and calm to Coventry. The Skeenbauer coven decided that it was the best thing to do until they got a new sheriff. Thorne had been gone for 6 months, and so far the deputies had been able to handle it because of the calming spell. Remy and I went out to his car so we could head back to Coventry. He'd wanted to go to dinner somewhere special that night, so we'd gone into the city. It wasn't late when we left, and the drive back was only around a half hour. The drive back home was uneventful. We talked a little about the wedding. I'd assumed that, since we were engaged after dating for 6 months, that Remy would want to have a longer engagement. But that hadn't been what he'd had in mind at all. I was about to make a joke about him just wanting access to the Tuttlesmith Library in Hangman's house when I saw something odd. We were just at the town limits, and Remy slowed way down. I assumed he'd seen it too. "Do you see that?" Remy asked, right on cue. "I'm not sure what I saw," I said. "I definitely saw something, but it could have been nothing. Around here, nothing is nothing in Coventry," Remy responded. "Should we pull over?" "I don't know. I've got a bad feeling. But if she was hurt, we can't just leave her there." "So you think that was a woman?" he asked. "I don't know what else it would be. I guess I don't really want to know what else it could be. Definitely didn't."